Alrighty, so today we're going to be going through the list PowerClean and HangClean. They're basically the same thing, except HangClean starts from your thighs and PowerClean starts from the floor. Other than that, they're the same motions. All the pull phases, catch phases, power phases, they're all the same thing. Okay, so for our starting position, we're going to have our feet shoulder to hip width apart, with your toes pointing forward and slightly slanted out to the sides. And then you're gonna bend over and you want your hips to stay under your shoulders. So you're not bending over using your back. That can lead to injury in the future. You're gonna grab the bar with pronated grip, so palms down. And then you're gonna also be shoulder width apart. So you're gonna start from this position every time you redo a rep for PowerClean. You should start from this position. So, first pull phase. To begin our lift, we're going to extend our hips and our knees as forcefully as possible. You're going to want to keep that bar as close to your knees and thighs as possible as well. So this first pull phase is going to end right in between your knees and your mid-thighs. Your elbows should still be all the way extended as well as your wrists. Your spine, you'll want to keep in a neutral position as well as your head. You don't want those to be arched too far or your head leaning over. That can lead to injury also. So this is the end of our first pull phase. Now we're leading into the transition phase. That's just basically standing up more to get ready for our second pull phase. So during this, you just extend your back more and keep your arms and your wrists still fully extended and bring that bar closer to your thighs, your hips. Now we're going to go into the second pull phase, which is also the power phase. So we're going to forcefully extend your hips and knees and bring the bar up by flexing your elbows and rotating your wrists or pronating so you can bring the bar up to your chest. Okay, so during this part, you also want to make sure your spine and back stays in a straight line. If you hyperextend your back, that could also lead to injury. Also, when you lift the bar up, make sure your knees stay over your toes so you don't cause injury to your knees or ankles or back. Okay, so from the ending of our second pull phase, we're going to move into the catch phase. So she's going to almost jump a little bit, fully extend her hips, knees, and ankles, and shrug her shoulders, and at the top of the shoulder shrug, she's going to flip the bar over and catch it on her fingertips. So her wrists and her elbows are going to be fully flexed, and she's going to catch it on her deltoid clavicle area. During this phase, you also want to make sure that her upper arms are parallel with the floor, which she's doing a really good job at that. To get out of this, you're going to want to slowly extend your wrist down, drop the bar down so that you don't hurt yourself, and then slowly lower back down to the floor, making sure your hips are going faster than your shoulders. And then she's going to go through a full repetition for you guys so you can see it in full speed. As you can see, she started at the floor like every repetition should start. She kept it really close to her thighs and her torso. She caught it up here, and her elbows and upper arms were parallel to the floor the whole time. So for HangClean, it would be the exact same motions, except she's gonna start from her mid-thighs. So after that first pull phase, that's where she's basically gonna start. So this is where you would start for HangClean, and she's just gonna go through that second pull phase for PowerClean, which would just be the only power phase for HangClean. And catch it again up on her shoulders, deltoids, clavicles, and her elbows are still gonna be parallel to the ground. When you end your one repetition, again, slowly lower that bar down so you don't hurt yourself. And then when she's completely done with the lift, if you're using a bunch of weight, you can either drop it on the floor, make sure to step back in time so you don't drop the weight on yourself, or like I said, you can go back down to your mid-thighs and slowly lower it from there. Some things you want to make sure that you don't do, like I said earlier, you want to keep your spine in a neutral position. You don't want your back to be arched as much because that can cause injuries. You also don't want your shoulders or your hips to rise faster than your shoulders. You want to move that in a solid, constant motion. Doing all these will help you lift safely and effectively. As you get more used to lifting, with this lift and stuff, you can go up in weight and it will help your power and your strength.